crazy big,
crazy small.
Now, these aren't all of the biggest things and animals and living creatures we've had in GTA 5, but it's a lot of them, okay? You can see Franklin size here. You know, everybody knows Franklin size, but the first thing we have is one of the tiniest things I've ever seen in GTA 5, and it is a really small Siren Head. Look how tiny that thing is. Just for comparison, there's Siren Head, the tiny one, next to a shoe. Like, what the heck? He's so tiny. And then right next to is a crow, and then a chicken, and then a cat. Okay, you can see that it's getting bigger and bigger. The cat is bigger than the chicken is bigger than the crow, and Franklin, me, I'm gonna be walking down the list showing you everything. If you guys want to see more size comparisons, let me know in the comments below. Please don't forget to drop a big fat juicy like on this video, and let's move on to the next thing. Next up, we have a bird called the Cormorant. I don't know how to say it correctly, but there's the bird, and there's Franklin. You can see the size difference. Then we have a coyote, and then we have Franklin. You guys can get the idea. Now we have Sonic the Hedgehog. You guys want to see the size comparison between Sonic the Hedgehog and Franklin? He's about half his size. I don't know the exact height, but I think Sonic is like 4'1" or 4'11", one of the other. I don't know. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments below. We are moving through this list really fast, and next up is Chop, and you guys can see the size of Chop next to Franklin. And then I didn't know if this was going to be accurate or not, but there's Michael Myers, and Michael Myers turns out to be taller than Franklin. Guys, is that accurate? How tall is Franklin, and how tall is Michael Myers in the comments below? So we're moving on down the list because things are about to get very interesting. Now we got to be careful because Mike could pop up at any time and cut me. Anyways, we have next up is Baby D. All right, he's one of the most buff characters in GTA 5. Now it is arguable if Baby D is bigger than Michael Myers. Michael Myers seems to be taller, but is Baby D bigger? He's definitely got more muscle than Michael Myers, but who is actually bigger is the question. I mean, look at Baby D's feet and legs. They're gigantic. Moving on. You guys can see what we've went over so far. A very tiny Siren Head, a bird, it's a chicken, a cat, a bird, a coyote, Sonic, Chop, and Michael Myers, and Baby D. Now moving on to the Sonic Spider. All right, now Sonic Spider is definitely bigger than Baby D and could definitely eat Baby D easily. And you guys can get an idea on how big this spider is, the Sonic Spider, next to Franklin. I mean, it's a big spider. That's a gigantic spider. Thing is way bigger than normal Sonic. Moving on to what is a deer. I think that's a deer. I think it's called something else, but I think this is a deer. Yeah, it's a deer. All right, moving on. There's a cow. The cow, wait a second. Is the cow bigger than this? I don't know which one's actually bigger. Which one would you say is bigger, the cow or this? Is that a deer? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But to give you guys the correct sizing, you can see how big this thing is next to Franklin. Don't go anywhere because what I got next is something so big it doesn't even function properly in GTA 5. Moving on from the deer and the cow. Wait, is that a bull? It's got a horn. You know what? I'm very confused by that cow, but let's move on. We have the hammerhead shark, and you guys can see how big the hammerhead shark is next to Franklin. It's gigantic. But the question is, how is the hammerhead shark smaller than a Hulk? I don't know if that's accurate, guys. What do you think is bigger, Hulk or the hammerhead shark? The hammerhead shark is way bigger than Franklin, but Hulk is like massive. I'm thinking the hammerhead shark is definitely bigger than Hulk, but Hulk compared to Franklin, okay, yeah, Hulk's definitely bigger than Franklin. Let's move on to the next massive thing in this size comparison. Now the next thing, oh my gosh, that is extreme buff Black Adam. That thing is huge. We recently did a video on how big and strong this dude gets. This isn't even the biggest version. So what we got next is gonna be gigantic. I mean, just look at Hulk and then look at this thing. He is way bigger than Hulk. That's extreme buff Black Adam, by the way. And the little lightning bolt on his chest looks even different. It looks like Volcano. But let me walk up next to this extremely buff Black Adam to give you guys an idea on how big this thing really is. I mean, come on. I go up to his waist. I am
tiny compared to him.
And just to give you an idea, I put also something else here, which is this tiny Siren Head. Look how small this thing is compared to this beast. Oh yeah, you see that to the right? We'll get into that in a second. That is massive. But look at this foot. Tiny Siren Head is like the size of his toenail. Now that we've seen that beast, let's move on to something even bigger. Things are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. If you guys want to see another size comparison, please let me know in the comments below, because things get really big. Oh, look at this Siren Head. Whoa. Okay. All right, the siren head is pretty big. We also have the
Tiny siren head.
with the big siren head. This is the original siren head that I ever used with Franklin. And if you want to see how big this thing is next to Franklin, I mean, come on. I think this would be like the real sizing of siren head also. I mean, just look at me. I'm tiny compared to him. Things are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Just imagine if this thing had like got mad and its sirens kind of went off. We don't want to mess with this thing right now. We don't want to hear the crazy loud siren head. Let's move on to the next crazy big oh my gosh. What do you guys think this is in the comments below? Look how big it is. It is massive. It's even levitating above the ground. What the heck? Just to give you guys a size comparison of how big Franklin is next to this thing, I'm going to stand right in between right there. And then we're going to see what is this thing? This is a gigantic shark venom, or you could call it human shark, or you could call it human shark venom. He is massive. Look at his big tongue. Look at those chrome teeth. Look at the eyes, the whole shark human body, and look how tiny Franklin is right there between his feet. Now, if I was to guess, Franklin looks like he might be 6 foot tall. If Franklin is 6 foot tall, this huge thing here is at least 60 to 80 foot tall. And I would say this is like 25 to 20 feet tall. And this like 9 to 10 feet tall. And we could go down the whole list. But this big monstrosity is definitely like 60 feet tall. Okay, that's enough of that big beast. If that thing bit me, I'd be done for. We're about to move on to something even bigger than that. And look at those shoes. You may recognize those shoes. Let's just go ahead and walk right here in between the shoes. And yeah, just like we did with the human shark thing, look at the shoes on my feet and look at the shoes on this thing's feet. Look at how big it is. That is a gigantic Franklin. If this is about 60 to 80 feet, let's just go ahead and say 65 feet. This guy right here, I'm gonna say he's like 90 feet tall. 90 feet tall Franklin. This is one of the biggest things we've ever had in GTA 5. One of the biggest, because things are about to get really big. Oh my gosh, he's so big. Look at the bird flying. This thing is flying normal. And look at it, it's flying next to this thing's head. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. Gigantic Franklin there. And there's so many more big things we've had in GTA 5, but this is just portions of it. Okay, this has some very weird alien feet, and it's purple, and it has gigantic claws. We're gonna stand right at the bottom here. I am like barely bigger than one of the claws of the feet of this thing. Holy, tiny arms. That must mean it's a T-Rex. This is not no normal T-Rex. Normal T-Rexes were way smaller than this. Look how small Franklin is. Oh, no. This T-Rex is like a Giga-Rex or something. I could fit in his mouth like 100 times. If Franklin, big Franklin over there, this one is 90 feet tall. This one isn't much taller. I'm gonna say like 125 feet tall, but it's much like longer, wider, and everything. So this big boy is one of the next biggest things we've had. I mean, if you want to look all the way back at the beginning of the list, way at the beginning, and just look how big things have already gotten. Holy crap! And the craziest part is we have more. We're moving on to the next thing, and that is okay. You may know these feet. You may have seen this beast before. Let's get a little closer for comparison. This is King Kong, and King Kong would destroy this stupid T-Rex. But oh my gosh, I'm the size of one of King Kong's toes. Look at that. That is a massive monkey or gorilla, whatever you want to call it. Let's move on to the very next
gigantic beast
that we've had in GTA 5. Okay. Oh God. Oh no. I think we all know what this is. This is a new addition to the channel, and it's a really big fish. Just to stay safe, we're gonna kind of keep our distance so we don't accidentally get eaten. But there's Franklin, and there's the massive Bloop fish. If you guys just look, if you look at Franklin here, he's kind of tiny, and you can see Bloop. I'm probably the size of Bloop's eyeball. Oh my God, this is a massive fish. This thing, how is it even living still? King Kong next to it is definitely not bigger than Bloop. It could fit in Bloop's mouth. King Kong could. And if the T-Rex down there is 125 feet, King Kong, I'm guessing here, there's probably accurate numbers, but I'm gonna say King Kong is probably 230 feet tall. And then Bloop, he's not as tall, but he is very long. If he was to stand Bloop straight up, I would say Bloop is about 400 feet tall. And that is gonna move us on to the very next monstrosity. You may be able to guess it. This is a beast. I'm gonna stand right in the middle here. I mean, look how big the claw is. It's bigger than me. Okay, and this isn't even the the biggest thing. There's something even bigger than this beast. Okay, we have Bloop, King Kong, Giant T-Rex, Godzilla. This Godzilla, I don't have the accurate sizing, but if a Bloop is 400 feet, maybe 350 feet, if you stand him straight up, I'm thinking Godzilla in comparison to King Kong. You know what? I might be off on my numbers. I'm gonna say Godzilla. Godzilla's bigger than Bloop. This is a big, giant Godzilla, by the way. This Godzilla, if Franklin is 6 feet tall, this Godzilla's definitely 400 feet. 450. Gotta be, right? He's gotta be that tall. He has to be. Or the longest part, you know. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this accurate? And we have one more. We have one more, and it destroys everything. You guys have come here for the size comparison. We can have multiple versions of this because we have so many things we've done. There's a tiny siren head that I moved. There's all of this. You can see how things have gotten really, really big. Siren head, the shark venom, big Franklin, giant T-Rex, King Kong, even Bloop, and Godzilla. When I look next to me, it just looks like a big giant wall. This is a shoe. Do you see how big? That is a shoe. I don't really know where to stand, so you can see how big this thing is. Let me just give you an idea. If I look straight up, I can't even look up further than this. That is only one leg. I'm telling you right now, this is massive. Okay, here we go. There's Franklin. You can see Godzilla as well. We're gonna start zooming out so you guys can see. This might take a second. You can barely see Franklin now. That is 1 foot, by the way. And if you want to see Franklin, zoom in a lot. Right there, that is Franklin. And then we gotta zoom all the way out so we can see this beast. Oh my gosh. This might take a second. You can see Godzilla down there too, and Bloop and everything. That is 2 feet right there. Now, if we look straight up, we can see legs, and look how small Godzilla is. We already know that Franklin is tiny. Oh my gosh. We're actually gonna do this a little bit differently. We're gonna take Franklin all the way to the top of this massive. This might just be the biggest thing that's ever been in GTA 5. I mean, you can barely see Godzilla now. I'm moving up. The legs are so big. This is bigger than any building in GTA 5. The hands are huge. The watch is huge. That one finger over there might be bigger than Maze Bank. And then we are moving up. You may have guessed what this is. This is gigantic, really giant Trevor. You can barely see Godzilla down there. There's a lot of big characters that we have used. And if you guys want to see a different size comparison yet again, let me know in the comments below. We can definitely do that. And I'm going to drop on the tongue here just so you guys can see. Oh, I went through the tongue. I couldn't land on the tongue. But if you see that little speck right there, that's Franklin. We're going to move out as far as we can. Franklin might disappear because of how big Trevor. I can't even see Franklin anymore at this point. I can barely see Godzilla. The map of GTA 5 is starting to distort because he is so big. If you guys did enjoy this and you want to see another size comparison, let me know in the comments. Drop a like, subscribe, and I'm going to see you guys in the next video.